Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another video from Deathmaster, Evil Scotsman, depending what you want to call me. Today we're going to go over the API. Reason I'm doing this and not going back or continuing on with leveling up or other things was because on one of the Discord channels I'm on, a guy called DM Charlie, he wasn't actually him. There was some talk about some of the API and scripts that are used on Roll20, and I thought I would go through the ones I actually use. I use about 12 of them. Well, I actually used about 11 of them, kind of. I need to actually look. I've got a list here. Yeah, there is 12 in total. I generally tend to use about 11 of them, depending on what I'm actually doing. They're all good, they all work together, they all seem to work together and whatnot. But it's just the way that I like it and whatnot. So first of all, what is an API? Well, the API is a way to mod your game. It's a bunch of scripts that you can put in that people have written to help speed up and make the game run a bit smoother. This is only available to pro users. So if you have the Plus account or the free account, then you're not going to have access to this. I originally started on a free account and then realized that if I wanted to run things, then I would need the Plus account just to get the dynamic lighting. And then after a little bit playing in a game that my girl cat saw me in, the guy had the pro account and she saw a couple of things and was just like, it's worth the extra $5 a month just for a couple of the things that you get to see and do. So you would actually have to go to manage your subscription, and as you can see, the base account is free. The Plus accounts, you're seeing $4.99 on mine. It's because I'm grandfathered into the old prices. I think it's went up to $5.99 a month. Allows you to upload more pictures and whatnot. There aren't ads. The dynamic lighting, of course. You can share your compendium in 3 games. Whereas the Pro account gives you 6 gigs of upload storage. Gives you the Roll20 Reserve Reward, which is like a free pack every month. It's actually not too bad. The API access, which I use, I can actually share my compendium in 5 games. And 15 players per game, which is actually really handy. But anyway, let's get back to the scripts, or the API, the mods that I actually use. So if you have the Pro account, the first thing you do is you would click on settings and go to API scripts. And it brings you up on this page right here. This is your script box. Easiest way to do it is to click on the Roll20 API script library. The first one I'm going to do was actually the one that made my girl cat tell me to pay the extra money just for the just for this, and it is called Aura. You just need to type in Aura and it comes up straight away. It's the Aura Tint Health Colors. So you click on that and it tells you the version, and basically what it is a script to set up health indicators on your tokens via the Aura. You can actually change them. I just leave it the way that it is. You click add script and it adds on there. As you can see, I've got quite a few tabs open. So when you click back into your game, you'll notice, yeah, I was doing things earlier, trying to test some things out. It will come up. So if you take your token and you actually move it, oh, come on, and now of course it doesn't want to work. Great. Let's see go to none and then go back to Smoky Joe. Change that to HP, change that to AC. I've got all that done. There we go. And now it's working. You'll notice that he actually has a green aura around him. So this was actually going to be on another video that I was going to do. The fun part with this is, well, I'll actually do that in another video. It shows you your health being at green, and then there's another purple, or I think that's pink aura. But basically, when your health goes down, the green bar will turn to yellow and then turn to red. So let's just set his health at 20. You'll see, and that was the actual reason why she wanted it. When your health goes down, you get blood splatters going out. You also see above the actual health that you've got. So it goes down to yellow, and say I was to go down to 10, it's starting to get red. You go to 5, it's getting really red. You go to 1, it's pretty red. So you can actually tell with the other players exactly how hurt they are. There's no more, how hurt are you? Oh, I'm at 15 of 49. You know, you can just see right away who's the most hurt. Plus, also, you don't need to ask the DM, you know, which monster's more hurt. You can actually see just by the rings around the monsters which one's more hurt, so you have a better idea of who to attack. Basically, I like it because it just speeds the game up a little. So I'll change his health back to 49, and then, of course, you get a nice green poof to give you your health back. So that's the first one. It's the Aura Tint health colors. The only downside to this is you can't then put in Paladin's auras in your game, which, you know, I'm not too hurt about, because when you start putting auras out to 10 feet or 30 feet or whatnot, it starts slowing the game down. So that is number one. It is the Aura Tint for your characters. The next one is the nice easy one. You just type in, you don't even need to type in 5 in. Ian, I type in OGL. It's the 5th edition OGL by Roll20 Companion. It's basically for the Roll20 character sheet. I namely use it for this thing right here, ammo tracking. It also automatically tracks your death saves and your spell slots. Like, for anything that, just for that alone, it's absolutely worth it. So I add the script onto that. Basically, let's bring up Smoky Joe's thing. I'm not sure if I've actually got the ammo tracking on this. You can actually turn the ammo tracking on here on your sheet. You can actually have them set up to automatically track your ammo. Let's see, he does have, or does he not? He does have a light crossbow. This is one of the weird things. It doesn't, it adds a light crossbow, but doesn't add crossbow bolts. So I'll just add 20 crossbow bolts onto Smoky Joe. Now, the only thing that you really need to do here is, if the ammo tracking is already on, is you have to go to the light crossbow and click on the cog beside it and actually put in, well, you actually have to put the ammo as used as a resource, so it shows as a resource, and then type in your ammunition as crossbow bolts. Nice and simple. If it's javelins, you put javelins. If it's arrows. Normally, if you'll actually, if I take these ones off the other way you can do it is just to go to your compendium and type in crossbow, and you'll get crossbow bolts and drag them onto your screen, and there you can see, I'll change that to 20 because you have 20 of them. It automatically has them as resource, and then the light crossbow, I have crossbow bolts in there. So now when I actually click on the light crossbow, you will see it actually takes one off of the sheet and it actually tells you there. So you've got 19 left. You fire again. Oh, you've got 18 left, and so on and so forth. The same actually goes for your spells. You cast Bless at level 1, it actually tracks your spell slots for you, which I've got to say is, it just saves so many so much time as time goes on. Let me also put him down to 0 hit points. You'll see a nice big red X comes across him. So I'll put him back at least up to 15 hit points, and I'll change this down to that. I'm just doing this to show you a few things for later. So that's the next one. It's the 5e OGL. It also allows you to put some other things in. I don't mess with too much in there. The way that it's on there is good enough. Next one I'm actually going to do is one that is very, very handy. You type in the word group. I'm actually going to use both GroupCheck and GroupInitiative. I'll actually use GroupInitiative first. It actually gives you the commands in there that you would end up doing. I will go through them. This is the first one that I actually have to put a macro in for. This is one that I really, really like. If I go back to the game, I'm actually going to take both of these guys off. I'm going to bring out, quite frankly, just a bunch of goblins. As you can see, they've also got the thing on there. So you've got, say, 6 goblins who are waiting to ambush the party. Well, this can be done on any layer also, so you can do it on the token layer or the GM layer if the creatures are actually on the GM layer. Let's actually change the opacity down. So if they were on the GM layer, you can actually go on there, so you're hiding them from your party, and you tell them all to stop. You can actually grab all of them, and this is where the actual macros first come in, which I actually forgot to do. You have to go all the way, after you've put group initiative in, you have to go all the way to the collection, and you'll see here at the top here, macros. You can add a macro. This macro you're going to just quite simply call group initiative. Okay, so you can name it actually whatever you want. If you want to call it group-init, then that's fine. And then you will actually type in I've got it here somewhere. In actions. Oh. you will just put in exclamation point GroupInit. You actually should do it properly for you. You go group and then dash init. That's all you need to put in. And then you don't show it as a token action because that won't bring it up at the top. You click Save Changes, and you'll actually want to show the quick macro bar, which will be down here, and you put in bar. So you have all 6 of them grabbed, and you click Group Init, and it will actually roll initiative for each of your monsters. There we go. So it's actually rolled initiative for all of them, which then saves you having to go one monster initiative, or having to sheet up initiative, another monster initiative, another monster initiative. It's best if they're all grouped together, the way you can grab them without other things. If you have to do them in smaller groups, you can also. As you can see, it works there on the GM layer, but again, if you put them all on the token layer, you can also, for example, do these two, then these two, and finally these two. There we go. And it shows you the initiative for all 6 of them. Again, another one with 19 and one with 18. Okay, so that is group initiative for you. You can also do it if you want to roll initiative for your players. I know my players generally tend to like rolling initiative for themselves, but if needs be, you can roll the initiative for all the players also. So it doesn't just work with the monsters, it does also work with the players too, so you can actually roll their initiative too. So that is the first one. The next one that I'm going to put on here was also with, easy enough, group is the GroupCheck. Again, you can see where to, what the command is actually going to be is just basically exclamation point GroupCheck. You don't really, I don't really need to configure everything because actually it all seemed to work pretty okay just the way that I want. You can change things here and there depending on what you want to do. I've not gone as far as that. This is if you want to go a bit further. Here it does say, hey, it may interfere with things. I'll be honest with you, it hasn't interfered with anything for me. I will be really, really honest with you, it has done absolutely, I've had no issues with it interfering with other scripts that I've put on. It may do with others, but the ones that I'm showing you, I've not had any issues with the way that it works. So now, GroupCheck is in. Actually shows you there. It says the API is gone again because it resets every time. Again, you're going to have to go to the macros and you're going to add a macro in, and you're going to call this one GroupCheck. In the actions, you're going to type in exclamation point group-check. And then you're going to show that, well, you're just going to save that, and you're going to put that in the bar too. So it's down here, so you don't have to constantly go back and forth. So what is GroupCheck? GroupCheck's actually a really fun thing. If you want your goblins, say again, they're on the GM layer because you've set up an ambush and your players walk along, you tell your players to stop, you grab all 6 of them and you click GroupCheck. Now if you actually look at the Goblin's character sheet, it's got Strength, Dex, Con, Int, Wisdom, and Charisma. It's only got its skills as Stealth +6. It doesn't have any saves, anything else. So you kind of have to work out yourself as a DM. You know, oh, what's the strength save going to be? What is their proficiency bonus? Do they get proficiency in this? Blah, blah, blah. Most of the monsters don't get proficiency. Some of them do, and you can click it off the sheet. But rather than having to open up the sheet every single time, you can just do it this way. So you're doing a group check, and you're going to do, say, because they're hidden, a stealth check. You click on stealth. Oh. Actually helps if I've got all of these, and when you click it, it actually tells you what all their checks were. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to see if I can change this to roll the checks on to whisper them. It probably is available to you, but it wouldn't matter because you would run the check and they know what there is. And you can say whether or not they get them to roll their passive perception, or use their passive perception, or roll perception checks, and then you can see whether or not they got surprised. So there you go. You get to do stealth checks. You can also do strength saves, wisdom checks, constitution. Like, it's got all the different checks in there that you can actually use without having to, like, oh, what is an intimidation check or a perception check for them. You don't have to remember which checks go with which abilities, which I actually find really, really handy, especially for monsters. So that is GroupCheck, another one that I really, really like. Next one I'm going to actually add on here is one called StatusInfo. If you just type in status, you go down to utility, and you click on StatusInfo. There's not much information about that there. You can actually go and look on the thing there. I'll quickly explain it to you. Basically, it's telling you again its dependencies, to read fields, blah, blah, blah. Okay, don't worry about it. It's going to work. So, once again, it's in there. The status info, I'm actually going to have to put a list in here because the initial one that I found, I didn't exactly like. I will leave a copy of this in the description centers, in the description area. For the status info, you basically need to add another macro. I normally call this conditions, just because of what it is. You also understand why I can't tell you exactly what to write all here, because there's quite a lot. I actually have this copied elsewhere, so I'm just going to paste it in there. I'm wondering if it's actually going to work without TokenMod or not, but that I'll be adding TokenMod anyway. So conditions basically is, if you click on the conditions, you have blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, all of those. Let's say this goblin is poisoned. Okay, it's not going to work right now because I don't actually have TokenMod on, so I should maybe have changed my list around. So, to get, of course, the status info to work, you're going to need the API called TokenMod. It's one word. You type in TokenMod, And again, it's actually really easy. You can just type in the help on here and it will go okay. Once TokenMod goes in, let's see if it's TokenMod that I need. Poisoned. No, I'm going to need the other one too. So TokenMod gives you a lot of options. It allows you to modify your tokens. Let me actually just, if you actually copy this and put it in here, you will see a long list of things that you can actually do. There's an absolute ton of stuff that you can do with TokenMod. I also actually forgot about this. Gosh dang it. Yes, going back to when I put in the GroupCheck, I'm really sorry about this. I'm all over the place right now. You're going to want to bring in like something that goes with the sheet. If you're using the OGL sheet, or the shape sheet, I'm using the OGL. You would click submit, and it will import these sheets to go along with the characters. And with the GroupInitiative, you just have to click the button that says apply config, because it will. That basically, because the two of them kind of work together, it's importing them from the GroupCheck, and you're now configured your sheet to the GroupInitiative, which is absolutely fine. Anyway, so that was TokenMod. Also, I'm really sorry about that. The one that actually goes with it is Token Action Marker, which also then adds a bunch of other things for you. So when you add the script onto there, now hopefully when I click on conditions, poisoned, there we go. So when you add the TokenMod and token action marker to the StatusInfo, the three of them actually work together, and when you click on the condition poisoned, it actually will mark the token. I'll put that on the token layer. There you can see with a symbol for poison that actually tells you in the sheet exactly what it is. You can actually change the different things to, if you have other tokens, you can actually go back. See, this is one problem. You put the help in, you've got so far back to go. What's it on here? Oh no. Yeah, see, there's a lot of information on there for TokenMod. Did I put that on before then? I guess I did. But there is actually a way. Let's see, it's under StatusInfo. There is, or it could be under the TokenMod where you can actually change the ways that what you use for what. So that's just a way of doing things. The next one I can actually put in here is actually One of my favorite ones, it's called Resting in Style. You add the script again, it tells you blah 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 blah. I just ignore it because I know that it works. For this one, you're actually going to have to put in two macros. One is for a short rest. Oh, I should actually use my caps, and then you just type in short rest. Save the changes. Then add one for long for long rest, and you put them in there. Now, what does this actually do? Well, you look at Smokey Joe, he's not looking too good. You get to a certain point and you say, okay, it's time. Actually, there's one other thing that I can do for him because I know he gets it then. I'll take those off. You tell the players that they can take a short rest. Well, rather than them wondering what to do, you can just click on the group of tokens and click short rest, and it actually tells you you are down 34 hit points. Consider using a hit dice. It also says your channel divinity is regained. If you're a monk, it will tell you your key points are regenerated, warlocks spell slots get regenerated. Anything that happens on a short rest will actually come back, and it will tell you there. It will tell you if you should use a hit dice or not. It's up to yourself. Now, that's really, really handy, but what I really like is when it's time for a long rest and your party's all down, spell slots, hit points, blah, 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 hit dice, the works. You click on them and you click long rest, and then you see it puts them back up to full hit points. It tells you how many hit dice you regain and the spell slots that you regenerate. So that is what I actually found that, and it's been like a godsend. I'll tell you that. So players don't need to worry about, oh, how many hit dice do I get back? Having to re-put the spell slots in, this, that, and the next thing. So that one is actually really, really fun. The last three are not actually, well, one is on the API, but I'll leave that to the end. The other two are actually really, really handy. One is called Applied Damage, which I've actually already got here. I'll leave the link to it in the description. Basically, it's a script. You go to the link. You're going to click anywhere on there and then right click and select. Oh, no. No, actually select all. You're going to actually have to just right click and drag all the way down and copy the entire of the script. So you then right click on it and copy all 168 lines. You'll go to your API tab, go to new script, and just paste it in there. Now you're going to want to rename it to Applied Damage, and you'll see it's the entire script there, all 168 lines of it, and click Save Script. It will now go in there. I'm also going to leave the macro that you're going to end up putting in. Once applied damage is put in there, you're going to go to add a macro, call this apply damage, and you're going to paste all of this in there and save. So what does this actually do? Well, this is actually a really handy little macro. For say a player casts fireball in an area and it hits six of your monsters, you can grab all 6 of your monsters, click the apply damage. It will normally come up what the save is on the. You can even do it with like single target spells. It'll ask what the save is. So a fireball is a dexterity save. So you would submit that. You would know the DC. Let's see, what is his DC right now? If he had fireball, would be a spell save of 15. So you would click commit, submit. What is it? It's 86. Say it's 86 damage. Okay, so the damage would be 37. You click submit. And on a save, as you know, fireball, you save for half. You click submit. And of course now it does not work. Wow. This is the first time this has actually not worked for me. Worked for me. Let's actually look at the macro. Do I have it saved wrong somewhere? Ah, yes, I did. That's why. I missed a line on the macro. Okay, that's my fault. So let's go through this again. Apply damage, dexterity, submit, DC of 15, submit. I know that it's actually going to kill them completely, even if they save. So let's say the damage is 13. He rolled really badly, bunch of ones on the. You save for half, and it actually shows you what each of the goblins rolled. Now, the fun part is you click apply damage, it will actually apply the damage directly to the tokens. One click. I know it's a little bit of work, but you're not having to go through each token and, roll a save for each of them, blah blah blah. It's a little bit of work, but for what it actually does, it is actually kind of a fun little thing. So that one I've got to say, it's when used when you've got when you've got mobs, it's absolutely amazing. Even doing it for 2 or 3, because you can just click the apply damage and it does it for you. The next one is another one that we're going to actually have to add, and it's this is kind of weird because I've actually got it at on 2 different pages here. I can't remember which one it was, but if you go to the forums on the API and type in hit dice, you'll see one from Anthony V, and then another one from called Scriptlet. When it's auto hit dice script broke with new hit dice, blah blah blah. I'm not exactly sure which one it is that I've got, because on the other one there was actually a mistake that someone found, but I can't remember where exactly it was. So, excuse me, it's, if the first one works for you, then that's fine. If the other one works for you, or if it doesn't, then grab the other one and then find the mistake. It's basically, if you scroll down, there's an ht.set with a couple of things on it in there twice. It may have been fixed on this screenshot. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. But when you scroll down, what I was trying earlier was that someone had actually said, oh, here's the script you use. I've not got it to work. I'll be honest with you, I've not got it to work. So I'm actually going to go nice and easy because I've already got this. I've got the thing saved on a notepad. So I'm going to click on here and go hit dice. Click save script. It's called hit dice. Go to test. Now what does hit dice actually do? Well, this is one of the few things that you're actually then going to have to use your sheet for, because I've not found a macro that runs with this, even though they say one that was in there. I was trying it out and it wasn't working. I may try Keith's old script to see if that works with it. He says it works with TokenMod. So let's actually add this in here. Call it hit dice. But this should actually use as a token action because it's for your players and not for you. As you can see up there, there's, when you click on the token, there's now hit dice there. So let's actually make him down to 20 HP just because it's easier. So let's see, I'll click on hit dice. I actually did it. Smoky Joe. It actually worked. I'm going to have to now implement this. Okay. So I'm going to actually have to add this on here too. The hit dice script. But there you see it actually rolled hit dice. Just to see that it doesn't always just roll maximum. But it rolls your hit dice for Smoky Joe, which is a D8, plus his con mod, which is 3. And it added on the hit points to his sheet and actually takes it away from the dice counter. So something that you learned, I will add that to my things to do in the description here. So that is absolutely amazing. That's actually pretty awesome that I got that to work, because I was trying it with the other script and it wasn't working. You will find that in an auto hit dice script. I'll actually probably just copy this also and put that in the description for you guys. Now the last one that I'm actually going to put on here, because I'll make another video about how to get the how to use TokenMod and the token action marker, because I think this one's already getting a bit long and I really think you can be tired of hearing me speak, is one that, if you're running written adventures, isn't really that great, but if you're putting your own maps in and adding your own monsters and whatnot, it's actually really handy. Because they're written adventures, all the monsters are already on the maps. Then it's kind of counterintuitive, but this one actually. Oh. It's called token name number. It's very, very simple. Very, very effective, especially when you're making your own maps and campaigns. Yes, I know it's going to coincide with something else. So, what is token name number? Well, as you can see here, you've got my goblin. When you bring the goblin out onto the screen, you will double click on it and you will see the name of the goblin. Well, after the name of the goblin, you put in percentage, percentage, numbered, percentage, percentage. And save. Oh, it actually did it straight away there. They must have fixed it there. It does it automatically now. Normally it would show up as... See, I actually prefer doing it like this. This is the way that I learned how to do it. It would come up as that initially. So you would save it in your tokens as a token for the goblin, delete it off the screen, and now when you start bringing goblins out, you can see that they all have additional numbers. Which actually then, so you're like, which goblin are you going after now? The players can actually say, I'm going after Goblin 1, I'm going after Goblin 2, Goblin 3, Goblin 4, etc, etc, and you can do that with all of them. Like I said, with the pre-written adventures, it's... with the monsters already being on the screen, you would have to put it in there and then delete them off and then drag them back on, so it's a bit too much work, I would say, in all honesty. But yeah, that is the 1, 2, 3. That's 12 scripts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh. Why did it give me lib token markers? That's weird. Must have then one of the things must have changed its name. That's weird, because there's my overhead thing. There's the OGL, GroupCheck, GroupInitiative, StatusInfo, TokenMod, Token Action Marker, Resting in Style, Token Name Number, Apply Damage, and Hit Dice. That should have been 12. Oh no, should have been 11. I've got my numbers mixed up here. I had a different one in there. That is why. I don't know what this... this one must have just like got added in there with it. I know that on some of the other ones I've been having issues and it says you need to have this one on here. I did not add that on there, I will say that. I'm guessing because of the other things on there, because of what I import and whatnot, it automatically brings it in. I don't think it really hurts. I don't really, after I put the scripts in, I don't generally tend to look to see what's in there. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. I know in some of the older games I've taken, I didn't have that on, and I was getting an error coming up asking me to download it and whatnot. But anyway, those are the... Actually, 11. I thought it was 12. I didn't realise I had my numbers mixed up. But those are the ones that I use. So if you've got any questions, comments or whatnot, just drop me a line. I will get as much info as I can in the description for you. But until then, happy gaming. And until next time, have a good one.